Hello and welcome. I'm so happy that you're here and I'm excited for this conversation today and this episode of Journey of the Master podcast. Hello to all of you who are on live saying hello. We appreciate you being here. And if you're catching this video sometime in the future, thank you for watching. And I hope you get so much value out of these conversations. And I hope they empower you, inspire you, and uplift you, also providing you with simple tips and techniques that you can apply in your life and start choosing the life you want to live now. That's our subject for today, how you can choose the life you want. So we've talked for quite a long time about creating your reality, and you truly are the powerful creator of your reality in every moment, with the thoughts that you are thinking, with your perspective, with your beliefs, with how you speak and how you choose each moment. And we are powerfully creating our reality, but there's something even easier. And I think we're ready to make the shift into understanding that while you are the powerful creator of your reality, what's even easier is to understand that you are choosing your reality in every moment and therefore choosing the life you live. And I'll tell you, at first, you may not feel like you really can choose your reality, or you may have a belief that people really can't choose their reality. But here's one thing I observed in my own experience when I started tuning into the freedom to choose the life I really want. Does that resonate with you? Having the freedom to choose the life you really want? We've been talking about this for several episodes now. It is actually the ultimate desire of your soul for freedom and the freedom to create your reality the way you want it to be and to choose your life the way you want it to be and to know that you are free to do so. Now, one of the things, as I was saying, that came up is this, well, why is it that I haven't seen a whole lot of other people feel like they can choose their reality or choose the life they want? And I had a very interesting awareness, a self reflection that I want to share with you because I hope it's helpful to you. What I realized was that most of the time, unconsciously, we're choosing the life we don't want. We're talking about what we don't want. We're thinking about what we don't want. We're trying to plan for what we don't want and how we would navigate through it if it happened, versus choosing the life you really do want, knowing that you are free to choose the life you really want. So it's a practice, and it really does begin with our thoughts. Freedom begins in your thoughts. And freedom ends in your thoughts too. That's the other thing, right? The moment we start thinking about feeling overwhelmed, all the things we have to do, all the reasons why we can't, we start feeling like we're not free. And we're feeling like we don't have the ability to choose, but you really do. And most of the time, we're watching other people as our own reflection continually choose the life they don't want. So start to be aware of your thoughts. Are they on what you are choosing for your life? And it could be as simple as maybe in your physical body, you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to feel so tired all the time. I don't want to feel this uncomfortable in my clothes. I don't want to feel this pain in my body. But really, what we're choosing is to focus our attention and therefore our energy on the things we don't want. And we're choosing what we don't want. And so, if you can be aware of those things, you can easily, and it is easy once you start to embrace this and enjoy it and see it as an opportunity. If you're feeling tired, start choosing energy, vitality, choosing to wake up feeling rested and excited about your life. Start choosing to focus on the things that you love about your body and all the amazing things that you can do. You can start choosing that right now, and your body will instantly respond. Take a moment and just play with me here. Say out loud, I'm so tired. I'm just tired. I just feel tired all the time. I feel tired. Notice I can feel it in my own body. I feel like my body's shrinking. I feel like I'm collapsing. I don't feel very strong. But when I focus on, I choose to feel vibrant and alive. I choose to feel vibrant and alive and enthusiastic. I choose to feel good. I choose to feel good. I choose to feel good. I choose to feel good in my body. How do you feel? I know I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better saying I choose to feel good. I choose to feel alive and energetic. And if you will continue to choose that throughout your day, you'll start to notice that you have a lot more energy in your day. You have a lot more energy in your body throughout your day. So if you want to choose a healthier body and feeling good, here's one way, simple thing, just throughout your day, I choose to feel good. I choose to feel good. And if you can get too excited and enthusiastic and alive and energetic, then play with that too, because it feels really good. When you look at your relationships, if you're looking at what people don't do for you, you're choosing to have an experience where maybe people don't show up for you, or relationships are stressful, or you're constantly feeling you have to fix people or change people. So, what is it that you choose? What is it that you choose in your relationships? I choose to feel loved and celebrated. I choose to feel loved and appreciated. I choose to love and appreciate the people in my life. I choose to love and appreciate the people in my life, and I choose to feel loved and appreciated. I like to focus on what I know I can do and what I can choose, which you can choose too. I notice once in a while in my life that I start getting a little bit critical, maybe most obviously about my partner. We're together almost every day, all the time, and it's easy to look at what I think he should change about himself. But I notice when I make the choice to love him and appreciate him, I choose to love and appreciate him. And when the thoughts come up of judgment or frustration towards anybody in my life, I switch back to what I want and I choose to do that for them because I know ultimately I'm choosing to do it for myself. I choose to love and appreciate everybody in my life. And I would encourage you to start to think just one or two things that you appreciate about the people in your life. If you're really wanting to choose a life where your relationships are one of love and appreciation, even understanding, sometimes I notice that I might be struggling with something in my life, with someone in my life, but it's usually because I'm not making the simple choice to be compassionate and understand them. I was recently in a social setting with someone who was kind of laughing and joking about something that I feel very passionate about. And it had to do with animals. So it's something I'm extremely um, uh, compassionate about. That's really the best word. And I found myself getting triggered. And all of a sudden, my choice of feeling good and being happy and experiencing love and appreciation was quickly going out the door. And I had to take a deep breath. And I couldn't approve of what that person was saying in that moment. The only thing I could do was to choose to understand. And the second I asked myself, are you willing to choose to understand maybe why that person is the way they are? All of a sudden, I felt all the resistance lighten up. And I thought, yeah, I can understand. And it was really interesting because a few moments after that, when that person went in another room, I was started talking to someone, and they started telling me about that person's life, things I didn't know. And all of a sudden, it was an instant manifestation of, oh, wow, maybe I do understand this. And maybe now I can get to love and appreciation where I couldn't get there before. There sometimes is a step to the step of where you want to go, right? I had a question of someone in our community that asked about wanting to experience. She says this person says, it's difficult for me to be in my heart and feel genuine feeling of gratitude, love, and appreciation. It feels like I have a strong wall. What can you do to help me be in my heart? And sometimes there's a step to a step. Maybe being in your heart and feeling love and appreciation isn't something that you can get to easily. What is the best feeling thought or the best feeling emotion that you can get to and choose in that moment? And maybe it's not about being in your heart and feeling love and appreciation. Maybe that first step is feeling peace, accepting what is, maybe seeking to understand with a little bit of compassion. And maybe once you feel peace, maybe then you can move to love and appreciation. Appreciation is something that no one and nothing can ever take from you, no matter what your situation is. And so you in this moment could feel really frustrated with your life and you want to change your life. And you maybe don't even feel like you can choose the life you really want. But appreciation really is powerful. So if you can get to a place of peace and then find the simplest thing to appreciate. I've told this story before, but it's one of my favorites and it was life-changing for me. I was in the locker room of my gym working out one day, and I was back in the ladies' locker room, and there was this girl in there, and she was talking to her friend about her body, and oh my gosh, oh, this doesn't look right, and this doesn't look right. And this older woman, she might have been in her 80s, I would say, she went over to the girls and said, "Honey, someday you're gonna wish you had that body that you have now." And that just absolutely hit me. And I was like, isn't that true? Wow. To be really just right where you are and appreciate your body as it is, appreciate the things you do have right as they are right now. And I know for me, when you're focused on love and what you love, if you're feeling frustration or some resistance or overwhelm or you're feeling tired, it may feel like it's difficult to get into your heart and really love and appreciate. But if I were to ask you, what one thing in your life do you love the most? What one thing in your life do you love the most? Whatever that answer is, it's perfect. Maybe it's your grandchild, maybe it's your child, maybe it's your pet, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your home, maybe it's a place, maybe it's beautiful white roses, right? What one thing comes to mind when I say, what do you love the most? And then let yourself go to the place and just say, I choose that. I choose what I love the most. I choose what I love the most. And start feeling that energy of love being what you choose. Now, this wonderful thing that you're thinking about or person can help be, they serve as a tool. I don't want to call it a tool necessarily, but something that can help you easily shift into feeling love and choosing love. Yeah. One of the answers here. What one thing in your life do you love the most? Traveling. This person said traveling. That's perfect. When you start to think about what's the place you have traveled to that you loved the most, was the place that you traveled to that you loved the most? When you start to think about that and ask yourself those questions, you can start feeling yourself shifting into a place of love. And then you can continue to choose the things that you love. And so, back to choosing your body, I choose to feel good. I choose to love and appreciate the people in my life and my relationships. I choose to love the people in my life and my relationships. So, what are you choosing as far as living your purpose and your impact in the world, right? What are you choosing? What are you choosing? At one point in my life, I had this deep desire to write and publish a book. And I was so excited about that. It was something I really wanted to experience. And so when you start to focus into what it is that you're choosing, first off, it's easier than ever before to write and publish a book or to create a website or to create a YouTube channel if you want to do that, or to create something in your local area. I have so many students that are starting or have started really cool, like wisdom circles and gatherings in their own communities or together with other like minded people in the world. Anything that you choose for your life is possible for you. I choose to feel inspired by everything that I do. I choose to look for opportunities to inspire with everything that I do. I was talking to a young woman the other day, very sweet young girl. She was about 15 years old. And someone asked her what her 5-year plan was, and we all kind of laughed like, "Oh, you really don't have to have one." And she said, "No, actually I do." She said, "Actually I do." And we were like, "Wow, what's your plan?" And she was sharing with us her plan. And she said, "But, I really don't know if I want to go to college, and I don't really know if that's the path for me, right?" And just from my heart, I told her, I said, sharing kind of my own experience, that's okay. If that's not what you're passionate about and you're really passionate about these other things that she wanted to create, which were really cool, I said one of the things that really helped me in my own life was pursuing personal development courses, courses on entrepreneurship, courses on leadership and management. And I said some of the best money I ever spent in my life was on continual education on the things that I really was excited about and wanted to learn. And she said, "Oh my gosh, thank you. You really inspired me." And that's part of what I choose for my life. And you can choose it for yours too, if that's what lights up for you. And, I feel like the people in my community are just naturally drawn to giving, naturally wanting to make the world a better place, naturally wanting to be in service of others. In fact, for most of us, our greatest joy is that connection with other people and like minded people and inspiring or uplifting or empowering people. And so sometimes when you start to just focus on any little way that you can do that for others in your life, you start to feel like you're more inspired. It's a powerful thing. And it can be so simple. And it's not about trying to change people or tell them what to do or constantly giving everybody advice or feeling like you have to do that. But it's just that simple opportunity. If it feels good to you, maybe you want to empower other people to live a life that they love. How can you do that in the simplest way today? Ask somebody in your life, what is it that they would really love to experience? What are they excited about in their life? Whatever question comes to you, ask them. Ask them. I was talking to a family member recently, and I felt like she was kind of down. And I was just like, "Well, what are you excited about?" And all of a sudden, her whole demeanor kind of changed, and she started talking about things that she was really excited about. And you could just see her whole energy change. And so these opportunities are there. And these are ways that we choose the life we really want. If inspiring and empowering and uplifting other people is something that you want to experience, but maybe you haven't started any sort of official platform to do that. Maybe you have, and you're just looking for an opportunity to expand that. There are so many ways to connect with people. The other thing I hear a lot of times in my community, and I know it was something I went through in my own life, of feeling really devoted to this path of awakening and living my highest potential and living a conscious life as a powerful creator and knowing that we are the masters of our life and we always have been. I found that maybe I didn't have a lot of people in my life that were also seeking that same path. However, I do feel like most everybody really does want to be happy and want to positively contribute to the happiness of others. In fact, I was reading something that one of my family members wrote about if they had a superpower, what would it be? And I was really surprised actually to read this person's answer because they said they would choose their superpower to be making people happy. And what I found myself is that it's a two-way street, right? When you really start to focus on bringing happiness into the lives of others, you start to feel a lot happier yourself. It's a way that you choose to live a happier life, right? And so just asking people, right? Starting to talk about feeling happy or being happy, right? And listening when people say something like, gosh, I just love my cat. My cat makes me so happy, right? Ask them about their cat and just start to connect in those ways. We're more alike than we are different, even if our paths are different. I genuinely think we all would choose love if we understood we had the choice. If you could choose fear or love, what are you going to choose? We're probably all going to choose love. If you could choose living abundantly or struggling with money and always worrying about money, I think we all would choose abundance. If you wanted to live in a world of turmoil and chaos, or do you want to live in peace and harmony? I think we'd all choose peace and harmony. If you think about your body, do you want to feel good in your body? I think everybody wants to feel good in their body. And so understand that these are things that you get to choose. And the thing that's exciting to me, especially the amazing people like you that are following this sort of wisdom, interested in this sort of wisdom, right? And knowing that you're a way shower. We really are creating a new way of being able to choose the life you really want. And as you do it for yourself, you inspire and empower and uplift people in your own life to realize that they too can choose the life they want. Now, for me, it wasn't an instant overnight, oh, I'm going to choose the life I want. I had some beliefs that came to the light when I started focusing on that, when I started tuning into, I can create my reality. And I want you to think about this as well. We are the powerful creators of our reality. And from the level of source, you've already created it all, and it's all here for you to choose. It's all here for you to choose. So if you want to travel and stay in a beautiful place on the ocean, you don't have to create the ocean. You don't have to grow the trees to harvest and then build the house on the ocean. It's already created. You get to choose the experience you want to have. And so start thinking about it as, I don't have to create the sun and the moon and the stars. I don't have to boil the ocean, one of my favorite terms. I just have to choose the experience I want to have. choose the life I want to live. Choose feeling good. Choose to love and appreciate the people in my life. Choose to live an inspired life surrounded with joy and well being and abundance. And most importantly, choosing your freedom. Choosing freedom in your thoughts, in your thinking, so that you really realize that you are free. Again, when I started to focus on this and really practice this in my life, I noticed that I had some thoughts come up and some beliefs come up. All that's asked of you is to stay conscious and present when a belief comes up and witness it without entangling and without judgment. I have to tell you, freedom, which is the foundation of our new course coming out. If you haven't heard, we have launched a new course called Your Ultimate Desire. Your Ultimate Desire. The freedom to choose the life you really want. This course is, to me, going to be the ultimate course. And it's your soul's ultimate desire. It's your ultimate desire to embody and rediscover the freedom to create and choose the life you really want. To choose the life you really want. So we're kicking off on September 4th with a kickoff party. The course actually will start on September 9th, which is when our first session will begin. Registration also closes at the start of the first session, which is Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. So you'll find that this is a big theme going on within our community right now. And so we have created that course to really go deeper in that. It's an invitation from your soul to finally set yourself free, to live as the master that you are and have always been. But when we start to feel into that, part of that means you take complete and total responsibility for your life, for the freedom you have, and for choosing the life you really want. And what I found is sometimes that freedom feels a bit unknown, feels like, whoa, I haven't been here before. On recent conversations, we talked about asking yourself the question, how free can you allow yourself to be? How free can you allow yourself to be? And as you navigate through new levels of your own freedom to choose the life you really want, sometimes we have to use some of the most basic tools, but the most powerful tools that we have, which is your breath, which is slowing down, which is finding some moments of stillness. When freedom feels really big, or you don't know what you want to choose, come back to the moment, come back to stillness, take some deep breaths. Remember, it's as simple as, would you choose love or would you choose fear? Would you choose abundance or scarcity? Do you choose freedom or do you choose to be stuck? You get to choose. So there's a question here, how can I manifest a job? And manifestation, law of attraction, awesome in helping us really navigate and understand that we can change our circumstances, we can change our conditions, we can transform things. I'm inviting you in to choosing the job you want. Choosing the job you want. If you were to take out a piece of paper and write down, and here's the fun part. Write down what you choose. So if it's a job, if it's a relationship, if it's a trip, if it's feeling good in your body, whatever it is, we're going to use a job because that's the question. Write down everything you choose about that job. I choose a job where I wake up feeling excited to do my job. I choose a job that feels playful and fun. I choose a job where I have freedom to create. I choose a job where I am appreciated and supported by the people I work with. I choose a job that allows me to grow and expand. I choose a job that's in the field of personal development and human potential because I'm really excited about it. I choose a job that I can work hours or do my job in hours that feel good and when I feel aligned. So write down what you choose. And here's catch: don't write down what you don't choose, because you're either choosing the life you want and the job you want, or you're choosing the job you don't want. And this is a practice sometimes when I ask students, what is it that you choose? Sometimes they're so aware of what they don't want, they don't realize they're continuing to choose what they don't want. So to actually write it down is a really powerful process, and I encourage you to do that. There are many people here on live who are part of my community and our advanced master's class program and have been part of many of our courses. And this is a practice that we have talked about. Write down what you choose. I choose to choose. I choose to feel love every day. I choose to wake up feeling rested and rejuvenated and good. I choose to feel inspired throughout my day. I choose to enjoy nature and have time each day to walk in nature, whatever it is. I choose to travel. I choose to experience all of the amazing things that this planet has to offer. I choose to meet new people and discover new places. I choose to feel really connected in my relationships. Even if you don't know how it's possible for you, I want you to practice and start getting really, really good at choosing. And writing it down is a really good thing, because if you notice that you're choosing something you don't want, then you can stop and shift it and choose what you do want. If you remember nothing else from this conversation, whether it's your thoughts or your beliefs or what you're writing down as your intentions, what you choose, are you choosing what you want, or are you actually choosing what you don't want? I choose a job where I don't have to deal with a boss that is demanding and unreasonable. That's choosing what you don't want. I don't want a job where I have to drive to work and be there by 8 a.m. You're choosing what you don't want. So what is the opposite of that? I choose to work with people that are supporting and uplifting. I choose a boss that inspires me and empowers me to grow. I can't tell you. Yes, I can. This is the most powerful process. If you will choose, I promise you, the entire universe will begin to organize itself and respond to what you are choosing. The other day, inspired by one of my students, I wrote down, I choose something magical, beautiful, and really miraculous. And I couldn't even really come up with something that would be that. And I have lived in the place that I have lived for 5 years. 5 years. And on the day that I said I choose something that is magical, and beautiful, and miraculous, I came home. I parked my car. I was looking at my beautiful rose garden, and I turned, and all of a sudden, this beautiful thing flew in front of my face. And I had never seen anything like it before. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" I didn't know if it was some sort of animal, um, but it was flying through the air, and as I went to pick it up, I saw another one and another one. It was actually, so my partner told me it was cotton. It was from the cotton trees. And I said, "Where are the cotton trees? We don't have a cotton tree. Where is that coming from?" I said, "I've lived here for 5 years. I've never seen that." I walked in my backyard. They were all over my yard and they were like flying through the air. In fact, I have a whole stack of them over here on my desk. They were so magical. They are so beautiful. It really was miraculous. And I said to him, I've lived here 5 years. I've never seen this. Have you ever seen this here? He said, in the 30 some odd years he's lived in this town, he's never seen it, right? And we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. But it doesn't matter because I know it was because I chose something magical and beautiful and miraculous. On that same day, in that same time frame, I found a feather, and then I had a white butterfly fly in front of me, and the magic and the miracles and the beauty just continued. So I promise you, all you have to do is choose. All you have to do is choose. And here's the thing about choosing. If it's so specific that it creates this resistance that feels overwhelming, then be more general in what you're choosing. Be more general in what you're choosing. If you remember that your ultimate desire, and I have talked to thousands of students over the years, and when I ask them what I want, what they want, if I ask them what their heart's desire is, if I ask them what the dream in their heart is, and they tell me what it is, whatever it is, maybe it's to heal a disease they have or a pain they have in their body, or maybe it's a certain amount of money. The white butterfly just flew in front of my office again. I haven't seen it since that day. And as I was talking here live, the white butterfly just flew in front of the window. Whether it's a relationship, under every single desire, I've yet to find one that doesn't come back to freedom. Even wanting to manifest a job, I bet you, has something to do with feeling a greater sense of freedom in the work that you do, in the way that you work, in how you create. Remember that it all comes back to freedom. And if you will set yourself free now, sometimes by being a little more general with what it is that you're choosing, that freedom will allow the most magical, beautiful, miraculous things to show up in your life. I didn't specifically say, I want a white butterfly. Some people do. And if that feels inspired, if that feels good, if that feels like your heart's desire, then be specific. Sometimes I'm so specific that there's no freedom in it. It doesn't feel free. It feels heavy. It feels impossible. So that's your opportunity to choose something a little more general so that you can be surprised, delighted, excited. And sometimes there are things that are really specific for you. And that's okay. As long as you can hold a space or embody the energy of freedom as you're choosing. So if you haven't done so, start writing down what you choose. If you notice something in your life that feels heavy or overwhelming or that you don't want, stop and take a breath. What is it that you do want? Choose that. If you get to the end of your day and you're exhausted and you had no time for yourself today and you didn't get anything done that you wanted to get done today, then I want you to choose to feel good, to feel energized, to feel satiated at the end of your day. I choose to feel peaceful, relaxed, and satiated when I get to the end of my day. I choose that everything I did that day was in support of my highest good. I choose to follow the energy, let the next perfect step next perfect step come, and know that it's all perfect. Whatever it is for you, right? Don't keep going down the path of what you don't want and why you don't want it and the reason you can't have what you want. Choose what you do want. But again, most of the time, we don't realize we're not choosing the life we want. We're choosing the life we don't want, and we're getting more of what we don't want. I choose a job where I enjoy the people I work with and I feel supported and appreciated. I choose work that feels inspiring to me. I choose to feel empowered and supported in my growth, right? Whatever that is, right? I choose to be in a relationship where I can be my full, complete, and total self. I choose to understand and feel compassion for the people in my life. And I choose to feel that I'm also understood and then there's compassion for me. You get to choose. You get to choose, right? Money. Money is one that comes up a lot for people. You can choose a life where you have everything you need and more, where what you want and need shows up even before you know you need it, where you are wealthy and living in alignment to divine prosperity. I choose divine prosperity to support me in living my biggest dreams. I choose divine prosperity to support me in the life I choose to live. Write it down, and read it back to yourself. I have my list. It's right in my desk, right underneath us here. And it is so fun to take out my list and read it. Because here's the thing true creation, manifestation, being a powerful creator of your reality, choosing the life you really want, first starts with choosing, right? Then it's about coming into alignment with it, coming into that absolute knowing. And sometimes that's a process. That's okay. But when you go back and read your list in a week from now or a month from now, and you can continue to add to it anytime you want. If someone else inspires you and chose something and you're like, oh, I choose whatever it is. You guys all know I love horses and I love dogs and I love cats. I have a wonderful woman in our community here that saw a post that I did on social media, and she says, someday I'm going to have a horse like that. She's choosing. She's choosing. So someone might inspire you about something that you want to choose in your own life. Enjoy the process, but choose. And when you go back to read the list, and all of a sudden, what you choose is like, yeah, I feel that. That is just so clear. And I absolutely know, right? And you feel that sense of freedom. So I hope that's all helpful. To me, I choose to live a life that I feel inspired. And I hope that I inspire you as well to know that absolutely anything and everything is possible for you. And I am living proof of that, right? We don't need to go into our stories, but I promise you, if you have a dream in your heart, that dream is in your heart for a reason. Your soul's ultimate desire is for you to know that you are free to live the life you really want. And it's my desire to support you on that journey in every way that I can to rediscover the freedom of your soul and choose the life you really want and start living it now. No waiting, no delay, no unworthiness, no working and efforting, right? Choosing, stepping in to the powerful creator and chooser that you are, the powerful chooser that you are, right? And living the life you really want to live. And as you do that and you share, you inspire all of us with even greater potentials and possibilities that are here for all of us too. You know, someone made the comment. Hi, Angela. Angela made the comment. I choose to shine my light. I choose to shine my light. I choose to shine my light everywhere I go. And if something happens that you get triggered and all of a sudden you feel like you're not really shining your light, don't judge yourself. Don't go into judgment. Don't go into a big story about it. Take a breath. Remember what you chose, and then choose right now to shine your light and be the light that you are. Kelly says, this reminds me of a vision board I made and went back and looked one day, and so many things had come to fruition. I have had that experience. In fact, sitting right in front of me is my vision board that everything on that board has come true. But it reminds me that there was a time when I chose, and that's what made all of it possible. And so now I can look at it with love and appreciation and such a sense of fulfillment and gratitude. So have fun with all of this. If it feels choiceless for you, join us for your ultimate desire, the freedom to choose the life you really want. Oh, it's going to be the ultimate course. I can't wait. Registration closes Tuesday, September 9th at the start of the first session at 12 p.m. Pacific time. You can find the link in the comments. You can find the link in the description of the video. You can also click that link to get more information if you want to check it out and see what it's all about. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our community. I really do mean the word community because you are all a realization of one of my dreams to create a loving, conscious, global, like-minded community. So thank you for being here. If you haven't already subscribed, you'll get notified of our next Journey of the Master podcast, and you can always come back here and watch the replay or on your favorite podcast platform. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Bye, everybody.